Here is our model selected for Honor, the medium haircut in the Anthem collection. Begin with a horseshoe-shaped parting above the round of the head that drops below the crown. Start this haircut at the front hairline below the temple. Section vertically over the ear and over-direct the hair to the back of the section. The cutting angle is square to the bottom of Zone 2. This is the area of the head just above its widest point. As the head rounds inward in Zone 1, the cutting angle does not. The cutting angle is slightly greater than that which is square to the widest point. The approximate length at the point of entry is about 3 inches. This is within the area of support. Behind the ear, take basic vertical sections and follow your guide. Follow standard men's work practices of establishing the basic head shape. Ensure that the cutting angle does not round inward with Zone 1. This is the area below the widest point of the head. The techniques used on the bottom half of the head of this cut are chosen to focus on shape. Flat cutting with basic sections is a standard men's work practice for primary shape. The cutting angle provides a rounded result with added weight below the round of the head. Use proper combing techniques, ensuring clean sections. Comb the hair with consistent elevation. Walk down the section, maintaining the cutting angle as well as the elevation. When combing each section, pick up the control of the hair at the base of the head. Comb the hair from the scalp to the end. Do not drop the hair until the entire vertical section is complete. All shapes have increased weight at the bottom of the head form. The goal is to have a subtle roundness in various points on the head form. On the bottom half of the head, you achieve this with the cutting angle. Follow this cutting pattern to the center back. Then follow the entire procedure to the opposite side. Each section following is basic and is cut straight out using the previous as a guide. Follow the angle consistent and equal to the opposite side. The last wide section is taken over the ear and over-directed to the back of the section. Notice the balance of the shape created by basic sectioning. Use a razor to taper the hairline. Slide cut without elevation for a low and tight taper. The cutting angle will be simple to allow the taper to blend into the hairline. Concentrate on cutting a square outline. Do not round into the hairline behind the ear. This area is a critical point of interest for the Anthem collection. Elevate the center back and razor over comb to reduce bulk from the tapered area. The direction should be opposite of any wave or bend that may exist. Again, do not work into the area directly behind the ear. Detail the area behind the ear with a shear. Point cut to remove the softness of the ends. Length in this area remains. Transition in Zone 3 with horizontal sections. Flat cut along the guide. Be mindful of the extra length at the front hairline. Pull the hair straight out from the head and maintain this consistent elevation. Work the horizontal sections around the entire head. Always cut along the guide from Zone 2. Follow the guide around to the other side. Be consistent with the connection into Zone 2, the elevation, and the size of your sections. Allow for a slight allowance of increased length towards the front hairline. Continue up the head with the horizontal transition until you reach the center part. The same elevation and the size of the section should be consistent with the first transitional cut. Drop the elevation at the crown to allow for any disturbances in the growth pattern. The extra length will be connected vertically when working with the top, Zone 4. Pick up the elevation again when working on the sides. Cut the center section on both sides of the head. Now begin the fourth step of the men's work cutting system, connect the top. Take side-to-side sections starting in front of the crown. Elevate the hair straight up and point cut in a square angle at the very top of Zone 4. Cut rounded from Zone 3 and flatten the angle out at the center of the top. The length at the center of the head results in a round shape. Square layering takes the shape of the head when cut in the location of support. Alternate directions and remain shallow to the ends. Keep the point cutting angle primarily simple. Occasionally cut the hair with a sawtooth angle. This will simply allow for a subtle added element to the very surface texture, yet always remain shallow to the ends. Overdirect the next section to the previous guide and follow the guide. Pay attention to the outside links. Be careful not to use the interior of the point cutting as your guide. Stay true to the length of the exterior. Although you round up to the center of Zone 4, ensure that you square the cutting angle at the very center top. Overdirect each remaining section to the highest point on the head. As the length towards the front increases, cut over the guide in the center just enough to follow the rounded shape building from Zone 3. Build a convex cutting angle since the length is now outside the area of support. Pull the front section to the highest point on the head and follow the new convex guide. Isolate the flat area of the crown and begin to detail. Create a round shape by cutting a convex layer. Since the head facets in this area, it is necessary to add a round element. All sections will be pulled straight up over the crown. Work both sides until no more hair reaches. Isolate the front panel. Take a basic section at the center front and cut the hair so the length falls above the center of the forehead, and the layering angle allows for at least 1 inch of variance. Overdirect each remaining section to the previous and cut along the guide. The section at the temple will still overdirect to the previous. Because the head rounds down, the degree of combing may seem greater. Stay true to the previous guide. Repeat the same method of cutting on the other side of the front panel. Notice the outline increases in length towards the temple. Keep this outline shape subtle. You may need to adjust the overdirection to create the desired outline. Detail the front outline shape. Point cut away any excess roundness by the temple. Add support elements to the area in front of the crown. This is a constant point of interest in the Anthem collection. Slide cut in the location of support from front to back. This is to lift the hair away from the scalp. Take side-to-side sections forward and repeat the cutting method. Remain true to the area of square layering, the very top of the head. Slide cut in the area of support at the edge of the highest point. This will separate the highest point of the head without having disconnection. Apply the product to the surface texture. Work it into the density of the shape without carrying it to the scalp and detail the ends.